Alright guys, welcome to another episode of Feed the Beast. Sirvyper 4580. Forgot I have music on. Oh, no I don't have music on. I'm just hearing outside. Anywho, we don't have a huge game plan today. I'm just gonna kind of run through the motions of what a normal day tweaking around with my base has been like. I got quite a bit of steel going now. I think I actually got a full block. I've just been cooking blocks of iron because I think it's probably the easiest way to go about it. And then I just downgrade it and put it all in here. So some of the small changes is that I no longer have these barrels around here. I don't know why I did the huge tweak. But yeah, I originally had where the 4 saplings and the 4 slugs were going into these barrels. Now they're just going directly into the ME system, and then the saplings actually is going into the hoppers, which are going into the recycler, which is then making me some scrap. Just actually go ahead and throw that in there. Also, I've been using the extractor to kind of burn off some of the rubber wood that I have to make rubber, because I've been noticing I've been using a lot more rubber, and I'm actually running out, so I'm kind of in dire need. I've also been cooking a lot of the rubber from the old rubber tree setup, and in turn going from there. Now I made a huge change to the way the system runs. I threw some overclockers in there, and I also got a transformer upgrade, which I'm using to ultimately just kind of bypass using a LV transformer. And I'm probably going to throw some more overclockers in there, since now that I have the transformer in there, it'll go faster. And then, of course, as you can see, there's no transformer now. All this is just being straight plugged into these MFEs. No explosions, which makes me happy. A lot of my power is really now coming from these geothermal, or I'm sorry, what do they call those? Yeah, geothermal generators. And that is literally powering 3 MFEs, these 3 here, which this more serves as like a backup than anything else. And then this is directly powering my ME system, which is on the other way. And I don't even have my solar panels or my water mill setup plugged into here anymore. This is all going straight into the sludge boiler, and of course, I'm sure you hear all the zombie noises, but my meat packer and my slaughterhouse. Now, you'll notice that I made a change in this room. It's no longer... he's holding a heart. He hearts me. Actually, no, I think the thing's dangling in the ceiling. No, he's holding it. But yeah, this is no longer using multiple spawners. I now have a soul cage in there with a soul shard that's tier 5, and just cranking these guys out faster than this thing can get energy to actually kill them. So at some point, it might actually change the wiring and get the wiring from the MFEs set up in here. But these things are doing just wonderful as far as getting meat. I'm like overloaded in raw meat and guts. And again, that's going towards a future project, but at the same time, I'm actually probably going to start cooking up those meat and guts and using them because they heal 5 meat pops. 5. And then, of course, I moved my jukebox down here. I'm slowly but surely kind of moving into the basement as far as all my work operations. And of course, Linux and J-Man Man were nice enough to copy some of the discs for me, and then some of the other ones I got through, like dungeons and such like that. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the big change. Added a wireless point for my MFE, so now ME. So now I can use the ME system kind of pretty much anywhere I want in my base. And another change that I made is that with my coke ovens, now with the cactus, I am just inputting it through these hoppers. And I don't have anything going right now because I have like a lot of these cactus charcoals backed up here. But just to kind of show you what it's doing, these golden pipes are ultimately outputting from the ovens, and then in turn putting that cactus charcoal in here, and then in turn that is going over there. So now I don't deal with any loss or anything of the sort. It's been proven to be very effective. And the reason why I have this barrel here is I got one pipe that goes up and around, and that puts regular coke in there. So if I decide that I want to start using coal as a means to make coal coke, I can go ahead and input it into these two, and I won't have much of a loss. It'll still it'll still do what it's supposed to do. So that's just kind of future-proofing this setup, so I don't have to worry about modifying anything in the future. It'll still render this one kind of useless if I decide to go straight coal. But in the end, I mean, I can always modify that by, changing these barrels, adding like an extra, a pipe here, and just have it where like you got your charcoal here and the regular cactus coal or cactus coke right there. So I mean, I can work it out. I can make it work. Not a big deal. Not a whole lot of setup here. The only difference is that I got 3 more lasers, and that's from a funny story. I ended up accidentally making about 128 lasers through a right click, and yeah, I made way too many of those. I've also opened up this area back here a little bit. I've also kind of dug out this area a bit. My plans is to start expanding below and get more going, because I want to get some more steel tanks going so I can house more liquids that I need and all sorts of fun stuff. So let's see if I can actually squeeze into this hole. It always has such an issue. There we go. I added some extra hoppers to the smeltery because I was using a lot more ore. And then, of course, this was a gift from Linux. He made me a disassemble table because I made all those lasers and ultimately wanted some of that stuff back. So he was nice enough to provide me with that. So yeah, I think that's pretty much everything here. If we move on up, you'll notice this room has gotten pretty empty. This used to have all those barrels that was containing all the items, but all that stuff's kind of moved into the ME now. And this is just kind of the remnants of miscellaneous stuff like tree saplings and all that. Like, I actually spent some time in the twilight, so I got some rainbow oak and lots and lots of stuff that I just don't primarily need right now, but just in case if I ever do get the need, it'll be there for me. And let's actually go ahead and sleep. And you'll notice that I moved my anchor or chunk loader in here because ultimately I wanted to reduce how many chunks I actually loaded. We had it set to a pretty ridiculous high, output, actually. And it was over there originally, so it wasn't really encompassing as much as it could have. So I moved it over here, and since I really don't have that much expanded out that way, this still encompasses pretty much everything over there, as well as my crazy tree thing over there. For lack of better terminology, it's got my tree farm, my my animal farm with all the milk and stuff that I'm making. It's got everything I need here, and it got to reduce the size of the chunks that I need loaded. So ultimately, happy server means happy players. So let's go ahead and turn that back off. And yeah, so that's that. And let's go ahead and head on down. No, that was a little too far down. That's way far down. Actually, no, we do need to go down here. I made some adjustments to my power suit. I put in shears, which has been really nice. I like drive-by shearing rams and stuff like that in the twilight. I also put a flint and steel in because I've been burning some trees that have been excess whenever I do any type of quarrying, and it doesn't cut up the whole thing. And I put an axe in there because I really don't have an axe from Tinker Construct, so I put that in there. And honestly, this thing sucks. I'm probably going to take this out at some point. It doesn't even recognize half of the trees as an actual tree, so it'll sit there as if I'm fisting the trees, and it's just like, it's useless. Useless. As far as actual adjustments and the rest of it, I upped the energy generated from the geothermal. Because I realized that the reason why I wasn't gaining any energy when I was ever in lava was because this thing was at 0. So now I actually should be generating quite a bit, and I'm still under the 6 kg, so I'm not too worried about it. And then, of course, because I was having so much issues keeping myself in the air whenever I was using the jetpack, even though my weight was under the requirement, I put in the jet boots, and holy crap, with that thrust all the way maxed out, I'm like, foof, out of the tree, and I'm way in the air. And then, of course, we just drop back down, and it's nuts how fast this thing goes now, and honestly, I very rarely ever need to charge this thing because of the kinetic, the geothermal, and the solar power. So all things considering, I mean, I rarely ever actually put this suit into the into any chargers, and that's pretty much exactly how I wanted it to be. I didn't want it to suck up all my my base energy for machines and stuff. Last change in the base is that I ultimately have re-signed all of the portals except for the portal world. This is kind of no longer as my quarry world, but I like to go in here every now and then, and I called it my super flat mega jungle. Super flat mega jungle! And primarily because the ground itself is flat up until like the Hollow Hill area, and that's pretty much the only area that isn't flat. And then, of course, littered about in these corners, instead of having a chest, I have these extra books that I haven't been using, and they're serving its purpose for the time being. Also, I've been kind of collecting the cobble from my quarries, and I'm actually trying to stock up on these quadruple compressed cobblestones. And the reason why is because I really like the design of them. It's got this like weighted companion cube sort of look to it. And I know I just mixed 2 blocks as one, but anyway. But yeah, I want to stock up on these because I want to use these as my floors in the basement, and I'm collecting a decent amount of stuff, so hopefully soon I'll have enough, maybe a couple stacks, and that'll get me all set up. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Let's close that door because that makes me nervous. So yeah, the mission today right now is that I'm going to go ahead and set up my quarry system in a new location over in my my Mistcraft Age. I recently kind of went to a 2-quarry system because I just, want more stuff. It's as simple as that. So we're going to go to the new Mistcraft Age that I made recently called Woody Turnpike, and you'll see why I called it that in a second. And here we are. Oh, that's the beacon. But yeah, there is wood everywhere. It's like a Mario Kart frickin' track going on here. Also, another interesting thing is that it's bright. Oh, except for this guy here. No, you don't. It's bright everywhere. It doesn't seem to affect mob spawning. So mobs still spawn at night, and sometimes it can get pretty crazy. But as far as visually, it's bright everywhere. So like even when you're caving, you don't need torches to see. You primarily just need torches to limit spawning, and that's pretty much it. So I like this world a lot, and one of the main reasons why I really like it so much is that it's one of those dense ore worlds. There is just ores everywhere. There's just massive amounts. So I no longer need to kind of leech off of J Minman's stuff. I can now actually start using my own crazy dense ore world. So yeah, these are actually kind of here just to simulate where I'm going to actually place the quarries at. This is to simulate the out projection of each system. And I have it set to where it'll actually continue to plow from where their last quarries plow from. So this will kind of continue this streak of death and nature-killing goodness. And yeah, so let's go ahead and get that started. We got some gunpowder, gunpowder now. That's pretty sexy. So the first thing we'll need, well, actually, we can probably actually just grab all of this stuff. We don't really need to hide it. So we're not going to need all the tools. So let's actually go ahead and put that stuff away. I think we'll keep the food actually just in case. And we'll keep the ender pouch, which is connected to my ME system. We'll keep that over there. Alright, so the first thing we're going to need is the wood, because that's ultimately going to be where we're going to hold stuff at. We're going to need the landmarks. We're going to need that. Power. Liquid tesseract. And item tesseracts. And we'll just start from there. So the first thing I want to do is set up the first quarry, and that is with that right there. And then we already got this wood part done over here. So just going to squeak down there, hit that to confirm it's all good. And I didn't measure out the area afterwards, so let's see, we are at 147 negative, or I'm sorry, negative 47. So plus that by 64, and we're looking at 23 maybe? I don't know, we'll figure it out. I didn't get the Z. 76 is the Z, so we need to make sure that no matter what we do, it's at 70, or it's at 76. Okay, so this is a little too far, I think. 23 is right here, so let's actually just place that there, and we'll see if that is good enough. No, it's too far. Okay, can we place it on leaves? We can. Still too far. I know I could use better methods, but you know what? I do what I want. Okay, still too far. Let's see, 19. We were at 47. I'm gonna actually open up a calendar or a calculator real quick. Negative 47 plus 63, because it usually counts itself. Whoa, I timed it apparently. Wow, I can't even use a calculator. Holy crap. Alright, let's try that again. 16 minus 47. There we go. 17. Okay. So we need to go to 17, which we'll just go ahead and we'll extend from here. So, alright, so we're at 18, 17. And this should be the magic number, supposedly. No. Gotta go one more. That's right, it's 63, not 64. Oh, no! Where'd you go? There you are. Alright. So we're over here now. Lovely sounds of Chicago. And it's still not working. What the heck? Did I go one too far on this side? Let's find out. Maybe that is the ticket. Right here. No. Let's find out. Alright, it's 154. Where are we at over here? Alright, 156. Oh, wow. Yeah, so I'm way off to the left. Or to the right, I should say. To the left, right. Right, left. Okay. So it's still not 17, so it's probably 16 then. There it is. There's the magic. That's what I wanted to see. And of course I do not bring my power gloves, so I can't chop the wood back down. So let's go ahead and fly back over here. And we're just going to place that in there. And we'll go ahead and place the quarry. Bam. Nice. Alright, so let's go ahead, fly around, pick up these landmarks. So we set up the next one. I lost that piece of wood, but oh well. It doesn't matter. Alright. So got this one here. Okay, so because these things run in parallel, I should be able to actually use the Y coordinates, or whatever the heck that is, because I'm just not feeling it today. So 16 is the magic number that we're going to need when we go on this side. Okay, so again, a lot of this has already been kind of pre-done, so let's actually go ahead and put that over there so we can get access to our landmarks. And yeah, plop that down, go that way, go all the way to this pre-made wood over here. Alright, so that's the magic. Magic. And I believe I said it was 17. Was the magic number, or 16 I think it was actually. Yeah, I think it was 16. Hi there, Mr. Penguin. Okay, so this should be it. Yeah, sweet. So we have did that a lot easier. We've done that a lot easier now, because we remembered numbers. That's the lesson, kids. Remember numbers. Okay, so we should be able to plop the next quarry down. There we go. And voila. We now have... Oh, wait. Why did it not set? Did I lose my... Oh my goodness, what happened? Or did it just lag? I mean, it acted like it worked. Yeah, it says this quarry will keep chunks. Maybe it just didn't paint the thing. Yeah, because I mean, it kicked the markers off. Yeah. I'm just going to assume it worked. And we'll find out probably the hard way in a second. I'm going to keep these wooden planks here, though, just in case. So that way, if it didn't work, we'll know. So let's find out. Oh, went a little too short. Okay. So we'll go ahead and get this thing rolling now. And this will output at 10 MJs. Yeah, it's clearing. Weird. It just didn't paint the thing. But yeah, now that we know that it works, we'll go ahead and we'll stop it. And should stop any second. It's still building. It's like WTF, man. No. Alright, anyway. Alright, so now that we got that done, we're going to set up the item tesseracts. Yeah, I have 2 tesseracts, primarily for laziness. Not going to lie. So we'll go ahead and plop these bad boys down. And this one will be set private. Send only to quarry. Private. Send only to quarry. There we go. And again, like I said, just primarily laziness. If you don't like it, you don't have to do what I do. Just saying, man. Just saying. Okay, so that's done. So now we just need to set up the engines and stuff, which I just primarily use as a buffer. So we'll keep the wood there. Let's get the engines out. We'll get the liquiducts out. We'll put that out there, and we'll put the ender tank out there. So the liquid tesseract, what that does is that it gives the engines its... I don't know why I'm blanking so hard right now. It gives its engines the liquid force, and then the ender tank gives it milk. So the only reason why I'm using an ender tank for this setup is because I'm actually also using the ender tank in my base, and it just makes sense to kind of have one milk input and multiple milk outputs from the same type of output than to set up another freaking liquid tesseract when I don't need it. So let's see, we want to make sure that we put this here. We're going to probably need the wrench too. Let's go ahead and pull that out of my handy dandy tools bag. Handy dandy. I guess I could use the force wrench too for that, but okay, it is set the input. Okay, so the way that I'm going to set this up is we will have that like so. We'll go ahead and plop these guys down here, and then we'll just turn them so that way they attach. This thing gets stupid every now and then if I don't place these after, because I force wrench these to keep their liquids. It doesn't attach properly, which is kind of silly, but well, fellas, what you going to do? So yeah, we got that going. I think the only thing I forgot to bring is buttons. I can't. Yeah, I didn't bring buttons. I always forget something. It's the most menial stuff, too. But yeah, we'll worry about that later. So let's get the liquid tesseracts going for the milk. Or, I'm sorry, the ender tank for the milk. Like so. Set that to output. There we go. And then we'll get another thing of liquiducts going this way, and it won't attach because there's already a liquid in there. And we'll put the liquid tesseract right there, and we will set this to receive only, private, and we want force in these pipes. And now it's going to put that in there. So now these engines are going to get full sets of milk and force, providing that I have the liquids to send. And the milk I pretty much never run out of thanks to the ranchers in my base. But force is another story. Every now and then I can run out of that stuff due to the logs not being put in the squeezers. And I'll probably find a better way to go about that in a bit, but for now, that is pretty much how I'm going to do that. Okay, so with that done, now we just need to kind of set this up as a nice little protective base, so that way we don't have mobs spawning in here and causing all sorts of ruckus. So we'll grab the stuff out of that, since we won't need any of that anymore. And I ended up using less liquid and stuff this time around, liquidux, so that's good. So yeah, we'll just go ahead and wrap this around like so, and just wrap it around here like so, and then of course one extra layer up top. Probably don't have enough wood for this, but oh well, I can always get more wood. I am knee deep in lay wood. Yeah, I'm out. That's fine. So let's go ahead and we'll get some light going, so that way I don't have to worry about any spawns. Yeah, and then that's pretty much it. Now we just need to make sure we get some buttons going, and I'll put one button up there for that one and one button over there. The reason why I'm going to do it that way is because if you put a button near this ender tank, it actually, for some reason, when it gets a redstone signal, it will tell it not to output. So I need to be careful about that sort of thing. We'll go ahead and I'll make the platform later. So yeah, so that's all set up. I just got to put the buttons in there, and then it's just a matter of kind of letting this thing crank. So yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll head it back over to the book real quick. Get that set up. Have some awesomeness. Whoa, missing chunk on the book chunk? Or you, okay, no, never mind. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. No cause, no need for alarm, peoples. Okay, so we just need to grab some buttons, because in my complete and utter fallacy, that's the only thing I forgot to grab. No, I don't need the blaze stuff. There we go. And we'll go ahead and input the liquidux and stuff in that, since we won't need that anymore. And I like to keep these in here if I can, but apparently I can't. So let's take that out. Bam. There we go. Okay. So we'll need some extra planks. Plink. We'll just get 2 stacks. I don't think we'll need more than that. Woo! Fly into that. And there we go. I love the sunset. Oh no, this is sunrise thing. Sunrise or sunset? Let's see. I can't tell. Yeah, it's setting. That's beautiful though. Look at that green hue. Oh, sexy. And the moon comes out where the heck it wants, apparently. It's like, what's that? Set in the east, rise in the west? No thank you. I do what I want. Do what I want. Okay, so we'll get these buttons placed. Now that's going. Now that's going. And then we can go ahead and set this thing to output. And I usually like to set it to 20. So that way it'll do that. Now the cool thing about they're doing it this way with the redstone cell connected to both of these directly is that even though it's set to 20 MJ as a max output, it'll actually output 20 MJs to each quarry, not split it in half and do 10-10. So it's doing 20-20. So you'll notice that this drains pretty fast because of that, even though we're putting 20 MJs in it right now due to these things, which have milk, and of course it's outputting liquid force. So yeah, I mean it's pretty interesting that way, but it works, and that's all that matters. So let's go ahead and I cannot fly for the life of me apparently. So let's go ahead and get this. We'll finish off this. And actually, put that back there. Oh, loud motorcycle is loud. Yeah, buddy. Ah, crap. Yeah, so I always have the stank. Wow, I cannot talk today. I always have the ender tank kind of poking out a little bit. It's not really by choice. It just kind of happens that way. So, so yeah, now that we have that going, let's go ahead and make a nice little platform for when we're flying. There we go. Voila. Nope. No. Get down. There we go. Take that light out, and we'll just slap one over there. And then we'll stick that out. Slap a light over there. There we go. And now we have complete access to the liquid tesseracts, the engines, pretty much everything we need to maintain this. I always like to keep this open so I can kind of watch. It's pretty cool. I like doing that. It gets stuff done. And we'll slap a light over there, and over there, just to make sure that we have no spawning whatsoever. So yeah, even though it didn't give me that, that weird... Oh, I just saw purple... Come here, Ram. Give me you. Oh, I heard spider. Get the heck away from me. Anyway, but yeah, so even though we didn't get that kind of caution tape sort of effect, it still made it and still is going to town. So cool. Can we actually see it? Yeah, there it goes. So wicked. So that's going, and that's going. Very awesome. Very, very awesome. So let's actually go ahead and, now that we've let this thing run a little bit, and ultimately this is kind of taking some thing, we'll put that back to 115. So that way we're still technically losing a little bit of energy, but we're gaining a lot of it back still through these guys here. So we get a nice, consistent 2-quarry setup. And, yeah, should be awesome. So let's go ahead and fly back to the base, and we'll wrap up the episode. Whenever we can get back to the book. Crazy dive. Anyway. So there we go. So those quarries are set up now. I showed you all the changes in the base. And we can kind of come over here now and see, well, not yet because it hasn't technically... Oh, there it goes. So slow at first. But yeah, so this thing is set up automatically. It puts redstone, lapis, force, coal, diamonds, and as much of the shards as I can fit into here. And it just directly puts it into the ME, so that way I'm not bothering with it. And the main reason why I did it that way was because none of these are non-maintenance items. They're just kind of taken as is. So it's easier to kind of put those straight in there. I set this as a priority for cobblestone to output directly into this hopper, which is in turn going into this auto crafting workbench and making the compressed cobblestone. And then from there I'm manually doing the rest. But it also is, by chance, set the output to the void pipe, which I don't mind. Even if I don't get as many, it's fine. It's more of a cosmetics thing. I'm not really losing anything. And then, of course, the remainder goes through the pipes, which in fact do not have a color, which is, in this case, is black. And then that outputs over into the, the chest that I have here, which I usually had upstairs, but I moved it down here just because it's just a lot easier to just throw stuff in here and all that fun stuff. But it should limit how much I'm actually moving stuff around now that these pipes are set to strictly put all the non-maintenance items directly into the ME system and void anything that I don't want. And then, of course, it's giving me the saplings and the wood, and probably could have had the wood go into the ME system as well, but I just didn't have enough space, and I didn't feel like fiddling around with a multi-diamond kind of system. It just didn't seem like it was worth it. So yeah, that is now good to go. Everything's kind of moving along. Happy, joy. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and wrap up the episode. So before we do that, though, my big plan is that eventually I'm gonna just rip this whole area out. Probably go about 2 more blocks down, right where that cobblestone ends, right around here. And we're going to go ahead and start making some tanks, getting some liquids, and I'm going to increase my power generation. Because right now, I mean, I got these 8 force engines, all doing about 10 MJs a piece. So I've got about 80 MJs a tick in each one of those things going with the milk and the force around it. That's really compact, too, if you haven't noticed. And then I don't even have buttons on this thing. What I have is I have a little redstone setup, which I've showed before, which is like repeaters and it's just powering the blocks, and ultimately there's redstone dust on top of that, which powers the next one up. So it's really effective, and it's doing everything I need it to do. So, and that, of course, is the Tesseract that's actually getting the liquid force out of those squeezers, which I have up here. Which I need to find a new way to maintain these. So this is part of the reason why I opened up this area, is I want to probably get some more squeezers in there and figure out what exactly I'm going to do in that case. So yeah, that's it. Remember to like if you like the video. Please subscribe, as we are always releasing Minecraft content. Between me and Linux and DJ, we just have tons of stuff for you to watch. So if you want to get your Minecraft fix on, this is the way to do it. And of course, remember that when you do like and subscribe, it really does help us out a lot. There's a lot of Minecraft videos out there, and you know, because of those videos, you know, we get buried easily. So whenever you like and subscribe, it kind of puts us up above the other competition, and you know, you want that. You may not know it, but you want that. So yeah, definitely make sure you like and subscribe. And of course, as always, have fun, my friends. Until next time.